We promised you that the beautiful women of Wake Up Nigeria will be taking over every Wednesday to bring you that something that's thrilling and fun and beautiful. And here we are.
Good as our word, because it is our bond, of course.
Yes.
You know, and I.
What's wrong? What's going on?
Connection.
I know.
It's too much. Your
I know
beauty is blinding.
All right, and you're not getting our, Princess is here, of course.
Yeah.
And of course, you expect that she's going to be adding that proverbial cherry on top of the experience that we are about to bring you. It's good to see you, Winfrey.
Thank you. It's
I
good to
haven't
see
seen you
too.
all week.
Yeah, I've been, you know, hibernating.
When?
Getting my
Anyways.
island.
A beautiful day it is what we have here today, and we are just about to concur with every bit of your day to make it even more beautiful. And that's our mission statement right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
We like to say that mental health is optimal, so whatever it is you're doing, going through, understand that this too shall pass, and you shall be the stronger for it.
Yes, and if you need to take a break from it all and just breathe, then by all means do that as well. But know that we will be here for you every step of the way, every single day, from Mondays to Friday, from the hour of 7 a.m. just before 9 a.m. And just before we, bring you the highlights for today, I'd like to remind you that my name is Imeokwache.
And my name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo. Stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Do not forget to send in those comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And please catch us live on the go if you have to be on the move this morning on the TVC app, which is available for download on both the Android and iOS stores.
On YouTube, you will find us at TVC Entertainment as well, and you can catch up on old episodes of the show and other shows as well on TVC.
So, Winfrey, let's tell them what we have for them on the show today.
Yep.
And of course, we're starting off with nutrition. We will be addressing belly fat loss and the biggest misconceptions around it with nutritionist and health fitness wellness advocate Uju Onura. She wants to seek who lends her voice to the tackling of nutrition concerns in Nigeria. And on October the 16th is World Food Day, and to commemorate that, we'll be joined by the founder and CEO of Cooper House Hospitality and the Vice President, United Nations Association of Nigeria. She'll be discussing the 5 food safety pillars. As a continuation of last week's conversation with certified professional mental health counselor with a specialization in marriage counseling, Abiola Olaiwola will be discussing with us today on emotional and mental health dysfunctions in women and how they affect marriage. Interesting conversation, that one.
And finally, we will get up close and personal in a chat with Isaac Chris, who is a creative and performance-driven film director whose deep passion for storytelling has earned him a track record of employer satisfaction. He honed his craft with major projects like Sugar, 50, When Love Happens, and others.
All right.
We made it.
You made it.
We made it.
I was here, sis.
Yeah, wow. But I love the hair.
Thank you. I decided to try something different. I haven't braided in a while. Look, okay, Ghana weaving braids. Actually, I haven't done that in a while.
I remember the pain when I was a child.
There's a time
Did you
for
ever
me.
do the side of the road hair lady? Did you ever do that?
The one where you sit down in between their legs.
And all the essence of the person doing your hair.
That's the true essence of a woman.
No,
Yes,
I think that's one of the advantages of having being the youngest. I had sisters, so they always braided my hair.
Your sisters used to do your hair?
Yeah.
I wish I had sisters. But what I remember most was that they used to use this nail, like the nail that they throw into planks. Yeah, to actually line the hair. But it used to make the lining so neat.
I know they had one called Abunzaga.
Perfect. I don't know what it's called.
From this thing, but it was made of nail, but it was sharpened.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, it was sharp, so it's like
Yeah,
really
really sharp.
straight, really sharp.
It used to enter my brain like.
You feel it, cold metal on your scalp.
How dare one strand go out of place?
Never.
But you know, it's amazing how our children will never experience
Things like this.
Never know what that's like.
Very true.
Never.
The world is changing so fast.
Never.
So, you know, it's really interesting you should mention that, because hair care it's been a debate for kids for a long time. There's some parents that have this whole, it must stay team natural, and then there's some parents that are like, yo, I can't do that.
Yeah, my kids are team natural, both of them. Yeah. And I mean, they have such full, healthy hair. Who else's hair, my world? It gives me like, you know, I mean, I love her hair. Both of them have really, really beautiful hair. And I intend to keep nurturing it. And I actually really nurture it with, you know, natural, like herbs, onions. I use onion water to treat their hair. Yes, rice water, onion water. I use avocado eggs. Yes, avocado eggs and honey to moisturize your hair. And it comes out so coily and so beautiful.
So, you know, you have beautiful hair. For some reason, my genes just didn't do that for me.
But it's amazing because your hair really goes very fast.
Yeah, we have to continue this conversation
later on.
Definitely.
But it's all about giving you the right information when you need it at the right time. We have the news coming your way.
Welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Winfrey Daniel Kolo, and for the news we have: the presidency has cleared the air over insinuations that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is pushing for Naira devaluation. Presidential spokesman Laolu Akande says the VP's statement at the opening of the midterm ministerial performance review retreat was a call for Naira devaluation, but to advocate forex policy to curb corruption. He added that the real issue confronting the economy is how to improve the supply of foreign exchange by allowing mechanisms like the importers and exporters window to work. The statement reads, quote, "If we allow this market mechanism to work as intended, we will find that the Naira will appreciate against the dollar as we restore confidence in the system." End quote. Gunmen today attacked Odata Secondary School in Ihala local government area of Anambra State, where the All Progressive Grand Alliance was preparing to hold a political rally. The casualty figure is still unknown after the gunmen invaded the venue and started shooting sporadically. Responding to the incident, the state's Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Sidon and D. Nuba, denied the claims that the gunmen held the governor hostage at the venue. He said the governor was at Atani community in Ogwaru local government when the incident happened. The state police spokesman, Tokchuku Ikengaya, who confirmed the incident, said normalcy was returned. Normalcy has returned, stating that the police and the military are currently on ground to ensure safety. Now to Kaduna State, where gunmen have abducted 3 seminary of Christ the King Catholic Seminary in St. Albert the Great Institute. Kaduna State Councillor of Kafanchan Catholic Diocese, Reverend Father Emmanuel Okolo, confirmed this in a press statement today. He said 6 other seminarians sustained injuries during the attack on Monday night. Spokesperson of the Kaduna Police Command, Mohammed Jalinge, also said operatives of the police tactical team in Jama have visited the seminary to assess the situation.
The command recorded a very unfortunate incident where unknown gunmen invaded St. Albert College at Faid Kagoma in Jama local government, shot sporadically, leaving some students injured, bullet wounds, and kidnapped 3 seminarians in the unfortunate incident.
Welcome back, people. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. Let's do the newspaper review, shall we? First, we start with the Daily Sun newspaper making the headlines here. E-transmission of election results. Senate surrenders. Removes condition, gives INEC power to decide. OK's direct primaries for political parties. Atiku Wike orders hail lawmakers PDP Cup fault direct primaries. You can find more of that story on page 7 of the paper. At the bottom of the paper here, we have appointments of security chiefs should be representative, says Bauchi governor. 2,287 killed in 3 months. Third term, how Itagiwa tried to lure me to support Obasanjo, says Namani. And also here, why we can't fund 2022 budget, says FIRS. Claims Nigerians hate paying taxes. Gunmen kill Sergeant Sark police station in Bayelsa. And here, finally, the Naira's untold story. Petrol import subsidy drain on foreign reserve. And that's it on the cover of the Daily Sun newspaper. Next up, we have The Nation. Making the headlines here. Senate, we bowed to public on e-transmission of results. And also here, ministers face quarterly performance appraisal. Government spends 30% of forex on petroleum products importation. And just right here at the bottom of the paper, 7 die in car accidents and bandits abduct 3 in Catholic church attack. And that's it on the newspaper headlines this morning.
Yeah.
And we're right back. Yes. Do not forget, people, it's still Wonder Women Wednesday.
Yeah. Meaning our topics are often, geared towards what we like talking about. Yeah.
And no bashing today.
Well, we're going to do
no bashing for me today. And just in case I decide to say something and you all don't agree with it, it's my opinion, please. Thank you all very much.
Now you can bash that.
Yeah. All right. So, Joro Olumofin is at it again. Said something quite interesting on social media. Joro, Bushio. Anyway, so quickly, yeah, I don't really need to say this. Yeah, so he posted something on Instagram recently, and why does this keep happening? Anyways, so this is what he said. Guys, if you've been dating a lady for more than 3 months, you should give her a monthly allowance of at least 70,000 naira.
Again.
Which is equivalent to $127.
Oh, wow.
Every single month. If you're not doing this, you're not entitled to 100% of her time.
Oh, wow.
And then, on the flip side, over to the women. Ladies, if you've been dating a guy for more than 3 months and you visit his apartment frequently, help out with a chore, clean his place, cook for him, or help him with his business proposal. If you're not doing any of this, then you should be single.
Okay, so wait, you said how much? 70,000 naira. So wait,
that's
70,000 naira
divided
by 7 days, right? 7 days. That's 10,000 naira.
That's 10,000
naira.
Yeah, in a day. Yeah.
So is that? He said monthly, so divided by.
By 30.
Yeah, you have to divide it by 30.
Okay, thank you. 30. That's $2.33.
So he'll be paying. No, that's naira. So that means he'll be paying her 2,000 naira a day. Yeah.
Wow. Really. So how much do cleaners get per hour? So you're paying for the cleaning.
We're free.
You're paying for what? The foot massages.
I would like to really hear what Winfrey's opinion is on this matter.
I honestly think the idea of roles as regards this kind of thing, I think is just wrong. My personal opinion is that, see, the one that is good for you, do it. Do you understand? Because I honestly feel like everyone is different, right? It's not every woman in a relationship that's enjoys cooking or that has to cook, right? You're dating someone, okay, this is my opinion, right? If you're a human being, you should be able to take care of yourself from top to bottom as a single individual human being, right? Join to another full, complete human being. Take care of yourselves. When people come together, you just complement and make things better. So, I don't know.
I think she needs to get married first and reverse that.
No, you know why? Why I'm saying that is because I feel eventually, like, things will play out. Everybody will find where their strength is and what they can do to help the family, right? But he said dating. He didn't say marriage.
Okay, he didn't say
marriage. So
that's
exactly. So he didn't say marriage. He said dating. So in a relationship situation.
So, you realize you have 3 kids, right?
I have 2 kids.
You have 3.
Oh, yes, I do have 3 kids. Yes, I have 3 kids.
I have 3 too. I just gave birth to just 2.
Yes. Okay. I have an older one that was born many years before me.
So
I just realized it after I got married. So yeah, go ahead.
Because if we don't actually view them that way, taking care of some certain things will feel like a chore. It'll feel like a lot more work if I don't make reference to him as my baby. You know, there are some things I'm like, whoa, one, go, just, you're looking for your socks. What? So how is that my business? You know, but if it was my kids looking for their socks, I would find it for them. And in the end, he's going to work. You know, I'm just trying to help out based on that motherly nature that I believe I have. But for this payment of services, I don't like that. I don't like anyone making reference to any fee or monetary exchange, because you might as well be selling market, for lack of other words I can use on Breakfast TV. You know, that's what it feels like.
So because Joro Olumofin is seen to be a relationship expert, that's what he calls himself, and a role model. Okay. You know, you never know, because he has quite a huge following, he's an influencer. And being an influencer means that you have power to influence. So a lot of people are actually paying attention to this kind of information. And they're taking it very seriously. So he needs to be careful. Goes a long way to tell what kind of society are we nudging towards? What kind of ideology? Yes, that's the word. Are we nurturing? Are we nurturing? Because young people are going to see this, and they're going to be like, so once I'm 18, I have to get a boyfriend who's going to give me 70,000 naira a month. And I think this brings then I know that this is what I have to offer him to be able to get
and all that stuff.
You know,
first of all, I think I have a problem with the 100% of your time, because first of all, you should be working. Why should he have 100% of your time? If you you don't have any other thing to do than be someone's girlfriend. But then again, I think that brings me to the point that a whole lot of information is out there on social media. As you said, he's a relationship expert and coach. He calls himself that, right? Maybe a few people call him that. But then again, we as individuals should be able to filter information when we receive them.
Yes, so now that's the thing. We have the ability to, but there are a lot of people who do not.
So that is
so that's why if I said earlier, it's our kids I am more concerned about. So because what are we? I mean, that is not an ideal situation. In his terms, it sounds like a transactional relationship. And a relationship or a marriage shouldn't be transactional.
Don't beat me, MM. So, you know, but you know what I'm thinking about? What about those who have been collecting like 200K a month? And then the guys now see that and are like, oh, so it's only 70 I actually owe her. And then start revising their downward review of how much they've been.
I believe that if you're in a relationship, if both parties, whatever you can do to support the relationship, please do it. Nobody should be compelled to, do it. If you're a female, if you're a woman, and you want a boyfriend that can, bankroll you on a daily, I'm not against it. Please go ahead and find your bankroller. But then let us not, push this ideology. Let us not on people that, oh, you have to find a boyfriend that, that should, fund your lifestyle, that should give you monies on the daily, and then you should do this in return. Whatever any party can do in the relationship to contribute to the relationship, to nurture it, to do it. Go ahead and do it. Nobody should be compelled to bring in any monies or do certain responsibilities to make the relationship, better, make it work.
So according to my calculator, 2,300 naira a day, is that enough for you? To give him 100% of your time?
Anyways, guys, ladies out there, we're going to ask you now, what do you think? Do you agree with what Joro has said? Do you think that as a woman, your boyfriend should give you this certain amount monthly? And as a woman, do you think that you should, in return, cater to his chores, cater to his responsibilities at the home front? Let us know at our social media platforms at TVC Connect. We're waiting to hear your thoughts and comments. And please, don't come for me, B. We have to go on a quick break now. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, with me is finally, she joins us. Welcome to the show today, Blossom. All right, so this morning we are making local plantain porridge, which of course I believe that this recipe is quite local. But what makes it more local than it already is?
And for the regular plantain porridge, chicken and the cow skin.
I use kpomo for my plantain
For your plantain porridge. Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about the ingredients for our plantain porridge.
Okay, we're working with our plantain. We have our rice chopped already.
Okay, let me run through the ingredients. Yes, so quickly for our ingredients this morning, we have our unripe plantain, we have ugba, crayfish, ugu, we have our diced chopped chicken here, chopped chicken, kpomo, onions, we have our roasted Titus fish here, smoked, sorry. Titus fish here, and then we have Cameroon pepper, yellow pepper, and our seasoning cubes. I see that we're working with yellow pepper here, which of course is going to add that, you know, flavor and hotness to this morning's breakfast. This is a very, very simple and easy recipe. I think right now, what are we doing right now?
Chicken, because we're going to be working with stock water.
All right. So we would let you in on, you know, the process for our breakfast this morning. Of course, we would make sure that you go with us every step. We'll try as much as possible, you know, to make you a part of our morning's recipe this morning. But quickly, we have to go over to the couch where Winfrey is waiting with our lush guest.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, right here with me, I have Andrea Obienu from Lagos Fashion Week representing Lush. Okay, so now, what's the theme for Fashion Week this season? You look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. So the team's really our core production team. So I'm the head of production for Lagos Fashion Week. I've been doing that for about 10 years. I started as an intern. And typically what we do is we just amass our production team. We have our models. We have a model coordinator. We have a hair sponsor, which is Lush this year. We have makeup. And then, you know, it's the same team that we've been working with for about 5 years now.
Oh, really great. Okay, now let me take you back a little bit. Okay, so I still am a model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I still look like it.
You should come work for us.
But yeah, okay, so now I've done one of the fashion weeks, the big one of the really big ones, right? And I know it's crazy, even with me just walking the runway. Yeah. So now I must imagine what it is like for you. Head of production, that is huge. So how do you deal with all that craziness?
You always have to have a plan B for your plan Bs. I think I sit on the floor a lot.
Okay.
Everywhere is a workspace.
Okay. So dress is just for TV?
Yes. This is not what I look like. If you see me during Fashion Week, some designers will tell me, they'll see me like 2 weeks later and they're like, I don't recognize you. It's kind of insulting, but it's fine. But it's just super busy. But I think what makes a difference is just the team, the strength of your team. I think we've come together and we've found and pulled together a really strong team over the years. We work with some amazing people, some amazing sponsors, some of the best makeup artists, the best stylists. So it's chaos, but we all love it. And it's like a little family, after which, you know, you're like, I don't want to see you again. No, I'm joking. But no, it's quite hectic, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, we just find a way to keep it moving, because with fashion show productions, like you can tell, nothing can stop. Everything keeps moving.
I'm telling you, everything keeps moving, and I like all that. I mean, but then again, it's an amazing experience. I mean, you see people working in different segments, from the floor, designing, to the actual creative designers, and you see so much creativity and all of that. So now let's talk pre-COVID, right? I mean, we know like how it's been, and of course, the Lagos Fashion Week, it has a solid brand that's gone on for years, and of course, it has to be the strength of the team, right? So now we're talking post-COVID, right? So now let's talk about COVID. Right before we got to this point, what was it like with dealing with the COVID and realizing, okay, we might not have the show this year? That was like when with the whole lockdown and all of that. What was that like for you?
It was really disappointing, honestly, because last year was our 10th year. So we've been doing it for 10 years, and we had this whole, you know, 10 years of Lagos Fashion Week, and we had all these plans, and then lockdown happened, COVID happened, the NSARS protests happened, and it just felt like it wasn't the right time to celebrate. And I think it was disappointing for the team, because we'd all put in so much work. And then to have to sort of cancel at the last minute. But I think the one thing that resonated a lot with us was just the resilience of the season. I think internally as a team, that's something we talked about, that you just continue to triumph, you continue to move forward. I remember, like I said, I started as an intern. So to see where we've come in 10 years was it was just a testament to just how strong the brand is, that we could weather that, that we could come back, that we could still support our designers, we could still, you know, pull together trade shows, digital activations, just something to keep the conversation moving and to keep pushing fashion forward, because at the end of the day, fashion is a chronicle of what is happening in our lives. It is actually a storytelling tool. So to see how our designers have evolved and are telling their stories in a post-pandemic world, in the spite of COVID, when there's supply chains that have been affected, when like everything is different, I think it's been very inspiring. So I feel like in our 10th year, part 2. It's really about a story of resilience, and just, I think that speaks very true to the African narrative for fashion, because if you can triumph here,
you can triumph anywhere. Very true. Okay, so now let me pick on what you said. You started off as an intern. Okay, so now tell me about that. How did you get to know about the show? What was it like when you got in interning? And how did you manage to get to head of production from there?
I don't know. So I remember I had just moved back from college, and my friend called me up and was like, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to come intern at this Fashion Week thing? And I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. Okay. My mom's a fashion designer, so like fashion is something I've grown up around. And so I just went and I absolutely fell in love with it. So that was my first year. Then second year, I think I was just really good at my job, to be honest.
And you got called back? Or you
yes, I got called back, and I got made head of the interns, and then after that, I was production lead. And just over the years, you know, just honing my craft, just again, working with such an amazing team and just learning from all these amazing producers from South Africa, New York, London. And I think it really was just, as the platform grew, I grew with it. So it's just felt very organic for me. And to be honest, it's God, because I have no idea how I became head of production. But I absolutely love it, and I find it's as easy as breathing for me at this point. Like I said, to grow with a platform is a very interesting experience, because you are literally shaping the story. And we've been talking about shaping the future of fashion, and now it's here.
So how long have you been head of production for?
This is probably my 4th year. I was production lead for about 3 years. Okay. It just all blurs together. Production is such a, everybody's doing everything.
So what would you say is the most challenging part of your job?
We run a multi-day, multi-designer platform. So I think at our largest showing, we had 62 designers over 4 days, having to run almost 20 shows back to back, over 100 models, just the sheer number and volume of people that you're working with. And you're working with creatives, and they're super passionate about their work. And they want the expression.
The exact expression.
And so how do you deliver on that in a way that stays true to who we are as a brand and who they are as, you know, as designers? So I think that people management is the big part of it. There's a lot of personalities when it comes to fashion shows. So I think that is one. And then just the complexity of trying to keep things fresh while running shows seamlessly. You literally have to have a plan, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, and you will use all the plans every single day. Every day. There's no plan that's wasted.
So now planning for a post-COVID show, what is that like?
A lot of COVID protocols. We've had to sort of scale down on the number of people allowed backstage. There's a lot of testing requirements.
I know some of the models that I work with, they were talking about how do we get into the show? Because we saw the call for interns, and they were like, we want to walk, and things like that. So how is it? How is all of that?
So we had to, just in order, usually when we hold casting, you have almost 1,000 people show up every single year.
I've been to those castings.
It's a lot. And so I think this year, just to keep everybody safe, we worked with closed castings initially, and just really pared down. And there's vaccination requirements, there's testing requirements. We're creating a production bubble. We're doing all the things we can to keep like our community of models, hairstylists, makeup artists safe. I think social distancing, of course. We're recommending people get vaccinated. We're trying to facilitate vaccination drives as well. So I think we're just doing our part to keep everyone safe, but also to just it's the roaring 20s. Like, if you think about what happened after the Spanish flu, everybody had a good time.
Yes.
So we also want to have a good time as well and just bring back that celebratory feeling.
No, thank you so much. I'm absolutely looking forward to the fashion show. And of course, maybe I'll drop by and say hi if you're not too busy. I'm sure you'll be busy. And I'm sure Lush is doing a great job with the hair and all of that. Thank you so much, Andrea. I would love to go on, but I have to go over to the kitchen now. What's cooking?
Well, so far, so good. Thank you so much. Winfrey Blossom is getting ready to, cook a storm as usual. Yes, we are making local plantain porridge this morning, and we have our chicken steaming already. So, Blossom, over to you.
Okay, so like I said earlier, we're going to work with our stock water for this recipe.
Yes.
So I'm chopping the cow
So
skin.
what do we have in there?
We have our chicken.
Okay.
Chopped chicken.
Is that soft chicken?
No, it's a local, normal
Hey,
layer.
no wonder.
You can
that aroma. Ooh, that. Oh yeah. I can
chicken.
Huh?
But preferably this chicken or orobo.
Okay.
Other hard chicken.
And then let's talk about the other ingredients.
Okay, so our cow skin is going to be chopped as well.
Okay.
So I'll toss it in so it cooks together. Then we have our plantain, unripe and ripe plantain. You might want to go for either. So we have our palm oil, our smoked Titus fish, our otazi leaves, then our crayfish. I don't like to blend it so much for this recipe.
You don't like it finely blended, you just like it
yes.
roughly blended. Okay, and then we have our ugba.
We have our ugba, then we have our Cameroon pepper and the yellow pepper, then our seasoning cube and salt.
Why are we using ugba in this recipe?
You know, I said it's local.
Yeah.
It's local plantain porridge.
I mean, like, is there any other local ingredient you could have used instead of ugba?
No, just ugba is
perfect.
Yes, perfect for it.
Oh, great. And let's not also forget that ugba actually has a lot of nutritional benefits, guys.
Yeah.
Like, highly nutritious. I mean, you don't even want to know. And it also has anti-inflammatory properties as well. So please. And you can also enjoy them raw. You don't have to cook them, right?
Yes, a lot of people eat it raw.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so once our chicken is done and our pomo is tossed in, what's next?
No, we're tossing it in the pomo now.
Okay.
So allow them cook together.
All right.
Then I bring out the chicken from the stock water. Then I put in my plantain to cook in the stock water.
Okay.
Then I add enough water to cook it.
All right, go ahead, please.
So I add enough water to cook the plantain. So that's about it. Then this whole recipe
ingredients,
go on, like I'm making a sauce, then I'll toss it in.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right, great. It sounds like a very interesting recipe.
Yes,
I love it. I'm really looking forward to it. I actually love plantains because they're also very healthy, especially the unripe plantains. I mean, all of this together is going to be a wonderful marriage made in heaven. I can't wait.
Sorry. I was going to say the reason you have the ripe plantain.
Yes, just to give it that sweetness. Yes, just to give it that sweetness, and of course also make it softer and all. Yes. So breakfast is getting ready. I can't wait till it's served. I hope you're ready too. Are you waiting? Get your paper and pen and scribble down all the ingredients, as you can see right here on our tabletop. Just in case you missed out on it earlier, and I'm going to run through them again. We have our palm oil. We have our our smoked Titus fish. We have our ugba, crayfish, and all of the other ingredients here. Anyways, we have to go on a quick break now. People, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Now, it's Wednesday, and that means we get to talk nutrition. We're addressing something very, very important to a lot of ladies out there, and, of course, the men, belly fat loss. Now, there's some misconceptions around this whole area of belly fat and how to lose it and how it's even gained. And today we have a nutritionist and health wellness advocate, Joro Olumofin, with us. Now, she seeks to lend her voice in tackling the nutrition concerns in Nigeria. Kudos to you, because I feel like the concerns when it comes to nutrition come from the ground up.
Yeah.
But let's focus on the belly. People like us, we found a way to hide it.
Okay.
And code it.
Yeah.
We know how to sit so that nobody will see it. But is there a way we can actually burn it?
Yes, you could burn belly fat. But I think it's important that we understand that belly fat is primarily caused as a result of too much consumption of food, more than your body needs. That is when you have excess calories in the body.
Okay. So excess calories mean everything is just going towards your waist, right?
For some people, because body physiology differs. Some people probably add up those calories in their waist, in their hips, in their butts, in their arms, wherever, really. But so that's that is primarily the very first problem that causes belly fat.
Okay.
Excess calorie consumption, when there's a calorie surplus.
Okay. So now, how do we, to the layman out there, how do we get them to understand how many calories they're supposed to consume and when there is an excess?
Okay. First of all, you need a nutritionist, right?
Okay.
But really,
pay your money. Yeah.
Definitely, right? But really, on a very basic level, right? You shouldn't really, we don't really advocate for calorie counting for an average person. We try to avoid calorie counting. Okay. But what we tell you as a person is, before you take that food, watch your plate. What is on your plate? Okay. How healthy is it? What is there? Are there combinations of vegetables, fruits? Are there a very healthy size of meat? I mean, you're not packing the whole meat in the whole world, right? So the oil content, is the oil floating on the food? You know, these are things you ask yourself. So while I wouldn't tell you, oh, count your calories for every meal, because also calorie counting is not really sustainable. I mean, how does it work that you bring food every single time and you're checking, oh, I think it's 200 calories, oh, I think it's 300. It's not really sustainable. Okay. But watch what's on your plate per time. Okay. Ask yourself, you could ask yourself these questions. How is this food combination? I mean, are they fats? It's about asking yourself questions, and obviously nutritionists are also there to help guide make your food decisions.
Let's talk to that lady that is about to do her monthly shopping right now. Okay. You know, which of those foods are most likely to add belly fat, help you add belly fat?
Excessive intake of food generally, of calories more than you need in a day, even if they are healthy.
Even if you're healthy, even if they're vegetables?
Yes, if you're overeating more than your body needs. But there is a but. Okay. But why I would always advocate that you eat more of fruits and vegetables in your plate with then healthy portions of carbs and protein and then your fat. Why we advocate for this is that vegetables and fruits are not, have lower calories than carbs and proteins and fat.
So the healthier calories, or rather healthier foods, have lower calories.
Well, if you put it that way,
it doesn't sound correct.
It doesn't really sound correct. The point here is your food portion shouldn't be that big. When I bring my plate to eat, right? When I bring my plate, I want to eat maybe jollof rice and chicken or something, whatever that is, right? I'm going to have a healthy size of jollof rice. Okay. Just bite. I mean, that's carb, right? Yeah. Then I try to also combine it with some fruits. Fruits, vegetables by the side. Maybe I could do a vegetable sauce or something like that to add to it. Then I have my protein. Please, I know some people love meat so much. Yeah. And while meat in itself is not bad, the quantity matters. So everything should just come together. Okay. There should be a balance.
A balance.
Yes.
All right, then. So for those who, so there are a lot of people that call me like a grass eater, you know, in my environment. So there are a lot of people that are pressured into eating these foods, either by their pocket or just by the fact that, you know, people around them don't encourage them, you know. So now you've made this decision to burn the belly fat. What are the first things you should remove from your diet?
First things first, reduce intake of processed foods.
Processed?
Yes, processed.
What's a processed food then?
When you think about processed food, when we look at it at foods that have really undergone a lot of changes from its natural state. Okay. If I'll put it that way, yes. I mean, compare yam, your whole yam, to yam chips. Okay. Yam chips has been processed.
Okay, because it's been cut down.
Yes, it's changed its natural state. Okay. Probably you have to fry it or do whatever it is, then add some salt to give it that salty taste. There's a change from its really more natural states. Like it's gone through some industrialization or whatever it is. Compare potato, a whole potato, sweet potato, maybe cooking it to, as regards to sweet potato chips. Okay. That's processed. Or compare fruits to canned fruits. canned fruit is processed. A lot of things has to be added inside.
So you mean like the canned fish, the canned beans?
Yes, yes.
Canned vegetables, they're all processed.
As much as possible, yes, they are processed, and as much as possible, avoid these things, as well as fatty foods.
Okay.
Fatty foods, like, you know, the general meat pies, the general donuts, these things. Of course, you should eat these things. Food should be enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
But as much as possible, reduce that intake, because most times they contain more calories than your other whole foods. Right? Your rice, your yam, your meat, and all these things, they contain less calories. And every size of meat, you can't even compare the calories to a meat pie.
Wow.
A meat pie, it's probably larger. Probably you could talk about 300 to 400 calories per just a meat pie, depending on the constituent of that meat pie.
And some people can't go without taking less than 3.
Do you understand?
Yeah. So there's a journey for a lot of people out there who are trying to burn the belly fat. But in terms of misconceptions, some people believe that there are some things they can drink that will help them shrink the belly fat. What do you say to that?
Nothing. 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 But it boils down to what I said earlier. Calorie deficit.
Okay.
There is nothing that can help you burn fat.
Okay.
There is no particular thing. It could probably help you increase what we call your metabolism, body metabolism, but it's not burning the fat.
Okay.
There is no substance, in my knowledge as a nutritionist, that burns fat.
Okay.
So if you're able to achieve a calorie deficit, you're eating lesser calories than your body is using up to do your work, your whatever it is you need to do. Trust me, you would go down.
All right.
But I need to add something that I feel like happens a lot with my clients. They feel that you can only lose weight in your tummy.
Okay.
Which is not true.
You can lose weight everywhere.
Yes, when you're losing weight, weight loss occurs, you know, in the whole body.
Amazing. You know what? There's so much that people need to learn from a nutritionist like you, and there's so many different misconceptions out there. And you probably have a question or two for Uju as well. Now, she is the Geeky Nutritionist on Instagram, and she'll be able to answer some of your questions. Just use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tag us at TVC Connect with your questions. All right, at this point, we're talking nutrition, talking food, and we have a chef standing by with MM.
You know, learned so much from Uju. Thank you so much for all that impact you have made today, Uju. And then talking about nutrition, today on the show we have Blessed Blossom, and this morning we are making local plantain porridge. Now let's quickly get right into our ingredients. Blossom, over to you quickly.
Okay, we have our palm oil, we have our smoked Titus fish, the original one. We have our otazi leaf. Yes, they have the fake one and the original.
Oh, okay.
We have our chopped
crushed
crayfish, dry crayfish. Then we have our uba and our chopped onions, our Cameroon pepper, black pepper, and our salt and our seasoning cubes
on ripe plantains, with ripe plantains, and then we have our chicken, which is steamed already, which is steaming up already, and then I see that you already added pomo.
Yeah.
Pomo, that's what we know it as pomo.
And the thing is, the reason the pomo is inside the stock water is for it to absorb
all of the seasonings, all of the, okay, great, fantastic. All right, so now that once our chicken and pomo is ready, what's going in next?
So I'm bringing it out, and I'll put in my plantain, allow it to cook in the stock water.
Okay. So we're going to drain out the chicken and the pomo from the pot right now that it's cooked, and then we're going to toss in our unripe pomo, and then what's next? Quickly, let's then
we'll start heating up. We'll heat up our oil, and make our sauce for.
Okay, and then everything goes in at the end of the day. All right, fantastic. Breakfast is getting ready, as you can see in here. And yes, things are going pretty nicely, even on the show all round. All right, so we're nudging to the top of the hour, people. The next 45 minutes, people, you ain't seen nothing yet. You better stay tuned to find out. Stay with us, we'll be right back. All righty, let's say one good hour deserves another. And even if we do say so ourselves, the first hour was a lot like the kind of morning everyone should have, right?
We really love the things we get up to on this show, to be very honest. And of course, every morning, from cooking to like so much more, and even more needed amidst the economic realities of the country.
Regardless, we are your happy pill, and we come highly recommended for you. What you want and what you need is a great morning. And of course, we've had so much going on already in the kitchen. Blossom is hard at work. Everything is just going singing and just going for something.
Oh, okay.
And of course, we've also had some great conversations going on as well. We've had nutrition, we've had the Lagos Fashion Week. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's been all smooth and savvy here on the show so far. Don't you think so?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great. Definitely. Anyways, we are not even close to being done yet. Still so much more to bring to you in the next 45 minutes, guys. So we need you to stick with us. Please, okay, we're not begging now. We want you to stick with us, bees. And we promise that we will be worth your every while.
My name is Winfrey Daniel Okolo.
And I am Email Koche. Please do not forget to stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
So send in your comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and catch us live on the go on the TVC app, which is available on or for download on both Android and iOS stores.
And yes, on YouTube, you can find us at TVC Entertainment as well. And you can catch up on all our old episodes of the show. And for those of you who have been, okay, what was cooked yesterday, what was cooked on Monday, well, you can find that on YouTube.
And of course, October 16th is World Food Day, and to commemorate that, we'll be joined by food safety expert and founder of Cooper House Hospitality, Dr. Omokpeju Afanu. She will be discussing the 5 food safety pillars.
Also, to continue last week's conversation with certified professional mental health counselor with a specialization in marriage counseling, Abiola Olaiwola, of course, will be joining us later on to discuss emotional and mental health dysfunction in women and how it affects marriage.
And finally, we will get up close and personal in a chat with Isaac Chris, who is a creative and performance-driven film director whose deep passion for storytelling has earned a track record of employer satisfaction. He honed his craft with major projects like Sugar 50, When Love Happens, and others.
Welcome back. Now, there's just something about talking about food that just puts a smile on your face. And to commemorate World Food Day, that's going to be happening on October 16th, we decided to invite someone special. Now, we have a food safety expert and founder of Cooper House Hospitality, Dr. Omokpeju Afanu. Now, she is here to discuss the 5 food safety pillars. And I have a feeling you've probably heard about this maybe when you're in secondary school or maybe sometime ago, but you never really took them seriously. So you need to stay tuned for this one. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so World Food Day, you need to talk to us about the theme for this year.
Okay, so basically we are trying to do our own theme for this year, which is around food safety, because we train on food safety.
Okay.
So we're basically focusing on food safety, and like you said, the 5 pillars of food safety.
All right, so Cooper House Hospitality is taking this on this year. Have you done this in the past?
Yes, so like we did something for the World Food Safety Day. So because we are focused on safety in terms of food handling and all of that, so we try to tend towards safety in the food industry.
Okay, so the food industry is vast.
Yeah.
And I still have nightmares of one of the first times I went to the market with my parents and I saw the color of the flies that were perched on the beef in the market.
Yeah.
And that was the one they wanted to buy. You know? So I'm thinking about how safe food actually is in this particular environment.
Well, I would say almost not safe, especially when you're going to the market. So part of the outreach that we're doing, we're taking it to the market.
Okay.
So we have trainees, so we go to the market and then we educate the people in the market. So food safety doesn't just stop in your kitchen. Okay. It starts from the farm right down to the table. So you may feel that even in your kitchen is safe, the way you handle the food, but you'll be surprised that there's so many things that you're actually doing wrong.
Okay.
Even in your houses. So like the ones that you're worried about are the biological hazards which you would encounter in the markets. Okay. You know, because the flies are there, bringing God knows what type of pathogen into the food, the vegetables. It's everything. It's not just the meat alone. Everything that you put in your mouth, you know, that is coming raw or that is coming, you have to cook first.
You know what? over the next 5 minutes, let's talk about the 5 pillars.
Okay.
What's the first pillar?
So the first pillar is cleaning and sanitizing. Yeah.
I have worries about that because of the type of chemicals some people use.
Okay, so cleaning and sanitizing is not cleaning and sanitizing the food, but cleaning and sanitizing the surfaces.
Okay.
So like where you're preparing food, there's a lot of cross-contamination, so you have to prevent that. So when you clean, you remove the visible contaminants, which is maybe food particles or stuff like that that you can see. But when you sanitize, you remove the things that the eyes can see, and they are safe chemicals that are used specifically for food environment. Yeah.
Okay. What's the second pillar?
The second pillar is now.
If I take me, of course.
Yes. Okay. So the second pillar is food handling.
Food handling.
No, not food handling. Personal hygiene.
Personal hygiene.
Yeah,
okay,
food handling
fantastic.
is towards the end. Yeah. So as a food handler as well, your personal hygiene is very important because when you handle the food, if you're not healthy, like you have a runny nose, you shouldn't be talking over food while you're cooking because you're introducing pathogens. Say when you're doing food that is ready to eat, that's like salads and things like that, or you finish cooking the food before you wrap it up. So your nails need to be clean, your hair needs to be covered, little things that could bring in physical physical contaminants into the food, like hair, nails, stuff like that. Even rings, you shouldn't even wear a ring if you're handling food, just to avoid it.
All right, so we've covered 2 pillars now.
Yes.
Can we take the third?
The third one I would say is food storage.
Okay.
So when you're storing food, there's a particular sequence to storing food, especially even in your fridge, on your shelf. Like, so if you want to store food inside the fridge, you don't there's certain items you put at the top.
Oh.
So like your vegetables should come at the top.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on the type of fridge that you have. Because when you're like a food processing facility, they have like these chillers, they have freezers. So there's some items that should come at the top. There's some items that should come at the middle. There's some items that should come at the bottom. So like fish, meat, you put them at the bottom because these items could drip water.
Yes.
And you don't want them dripping water on the next food item, which is like a vegetable, because vegetable is ready to eat. Sure. So you can't cook it like meat. When you cook, some of those pathogens will be killed. Yes. But vegetable, you eat straight. So you have to put it at the top so that the meat liquid or fish liquid doesn't drop on it. All right. So veggies at the top, meats and fish and all the other down. Meats, milk, like dairy items can be in the middle, like cheese and all of that can be in the middle, that you have. Okay, so now there are 2 more pillars to go. Yeah, so the next one I would take is time temperature control. That one with our electricity situation in this country. That one is the most, I think that's where food poisoning actually comes in a lot. Because we don't tend to take that into cognizance, You buy something from the market, it doesn't come in, it's already, the food cold chain has already been, like the meat you went to buy, shouldn't even be kept on the table. There's a temperature that the meat, as it's coming, as they're slaughtering the cattle, it should start at the temperature, and you maintain that. So there are hazard analysis and critical control points when you're handling food. So you're supposed to follow that process. So you're supposed to keep it at a particular temperature. When you bring it out of the freezer, to even defrost it, there's a process. You don't just drop it on the table and allow it to defrost. You either run it under water or you put it inside the fridge where it cools down gradually from the freezer. So everything has like a process. This thing you're telling me to do is work. So I have a 9 to 5. You even have temperature, food thermometers that you can actually check the temperature to be sure you're storing it at the right temperature. Why am I scared about this 5th one? No, well, that one, don't be scared. It's just about food handling. Okay. So why that is important is because when you handle food, there's something called cross-contamination. Okay. So like you're cooking fish, you shouldn't handle meat at the same time. Or you're doing vegetables. Yeah. You shouldn't. So before you start doing when you're done with vegetables, you need to clean and sanitize before you start doing meat. The same way when you handle fish, you clean and sanitize because there are different pathogens that transfer from one food item to another, and you want to avoid cross-contamination. Okay. Even in storage, you have to be careful as well because of that. So basically how to handle food and how to deliver it to the table.
You know, the issue of how to handle food is a really delicate one, because I've seen many places where people are cutting meat on the same chopping board where they're cutting salad items. Yeah. And it freaks me out. I actually saw a shawarma stand where the cooked shawarma meat was on the same tray as the raw meat. And they were serving it.
Oh my God.
Straight there, and there was literally meat water dripping.
Oh,
and going.
No, now you...
And then I asked the guy, I was wondering, what exactly, do you know what you're eating? He said, no, that's what makes it sweet. I'm like, wow.
Oh my.
On to the next stall.
You know, so people don't see that, you know, but when you start to see it, when you begin to understand that it's not just what you're eating, but moving from one to the other, then.
All right, then. Hopefully, we've given people something to think about. Thank you so much for what you do at Cooper House Hospitality. And World Food Day is all about food safety this time. You might be making your family sick if you're not safer with your food, and that is exactly what we're telling you to do. Be a lot safer with your food. We'll be posting this online as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you want to find out more and ask some questions. All right, then, at this point, we're going to be taking a quick break and be back with more.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and I'm right here in the kitchen with Chef Blossom. And of course, started off making plantain porridge with you. Is that still on course? Yes. So how far have we gone, and what's happening right now? Tell me.
Okay, so we have our plantain cooking, the ripe and the unripe plantain. You know, we said earlier that we'll cook it with the stock water, so it's cooking in there. And we have our sauce that will go, because it's a one-pot dish. Okay. So we'll toss in this after I drain the water from the plantain.
From the plantain.
So that's what we have.
Okay. So I noticed you said ripe and unripe plantain. So I used to wonder, because growing up, they used to make this unripe plantain porridge. And to be honest, as much as yes, they say it's very nutritious, but it was not so easy to go down. So that's what the ripe one is there for.
To add the sweetness.
Yes. Okay, good. So is it still as healthy as having...
Yes, it is, because I have more of the unripe plantain in it
than the ripe, probably. Because you know now in Nigeria, if the thing is not, if it doesn't hurt you, it won't be. It's not good enough. Okay, so now if you're just joining us, we have the ingredients right there on your screen. So check that out. We have porridge plantain, onions, chicken, palm oil, cow skin, uziza leaf, black pepper, ripe plantain, and unripe plantain. Okay, I noticed...
Actually, utazi leaf, not uziza leaf.
Utazi, okay, that's the one you're using. Here, please, what's the difference, please? Can you help me? Help me, because all these leaves. If it's not ugu or bitter leaf, I'm out.
Utazi leaf has this bitter taste it gives.
Utazi?
Yes, utazi leaf. Okay. Uziza is mostly used for pepper soup.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, so I noticed you have some chicken in there. Yes. So, and I think there's this myth that if you're cooking with fish, maintain fish. If you're cooking with, first of all, where did that myth come from?
You know, people and dad, people just come with different ideologies about different things. Okay. So, but yeah, the chicken is actually my recipe. Okay. If you want to use gizzard, if you want to use any other thing you want to use.
So it's really what you're comfortable with, Abi, what you like. Okay.
For this recipe, I like saying assorted.
Assorted, everything. I like you. I really like you. Okay, we'll come back to the kitchen, but right now, let's head over to the couch where MM is talking relationship.
All right, thank you very much, Winfrey. I'm eyeballing you, girl. I'm eyeballing you. Anyways, it's time for our relationship segment this morning. As I remember last week, we talked about the emotional and mental dysfunction in women. Well, today, today we will be talking about the women. And joining us, of course, is certified professional mental health counselor with a specialization in marriage counseling, Mr. Abiola Olaiwola. And this morning, we will be focusing on emotional and mental health dysfunction in women and how it affects marriage. Good morning.
Good morning, MM. It's good to be here again.
Yeah. Now, let's get right into it.
I'm ready to go.
It feels like, I feel attacked. I feel personally attacked this morning, even though we haven't started this conversation. But now, does growing up as a young girl play any role in a woman's emotional and mental health dysfunctionality? Very, very true. You can't separate the kind of adult we become from the social conditioning that we experience as young children. So
the conditioning. For example, I talked about toxic masculinity the other time. Most of the time, young girls have been trained or raised to believe that they are to live for others. Now, a good thing, but to a very large extent also it has its own dysfunctional part. Okay. Because now you are growing up, you've been raised to believe that every other person depends on you. You are a homekeeper. Good, as far as can go. But one of the things we've also discovered from my own private experience and my private practice, I've come to discover that a lot of young ladies today are dysfunctional mentally and socially because of the way they've been raised. Okay. Because of that, a lot of them have grown up without having what I call a sense of self. They don't own themselves. They need a lot of validation and affirmation. And that's why you see a lot of young ladies ending up in quote and unquote with the bad guys, because they have actually lacked that self-affirmation. That every girl's first hero is the father.
Yes, I was coming to
the father. Most of the time, the girl child have been raised. Thank God for the new things that are happening now. But the girls have been raised to be as seen as a lesser being compared to the boy child. So they are seen as the homekeeper, do this, do that, and things like that. Others are depending on you to make the home without putting the same effort in raising the boy child. So what you see is that you have a lady that feels that is indebted to everybody, becomes a nurturer. It's a good thing. But at the end of the day, they eventually attract people that need nurturing. People that have not found personal wellness. Now, when you have a dysfunctional home where the father and mother always have an issue, the way the father talks back at the mother, the way domestic violence, for example, when you see that kind of scenario, I've seen ladies in my private session that tell me, look, if this is what marriage is all about, I'd rather not be married. So I've been issued, a lot of them are coming into marriage with the kind of offensive mindset. I won't take the kind of thing. The lady told her mom, she was 15 then, she just told her mom, Mom, if you die in this marriage, I will not mourn, I will not cry. Because even me as a young girl, I can't withstand the things my dad is doing to you.
Now, let's, I hear what you've said, and which, of course, it brings to mind what I usually say, that women have been, made, or they have been seen to be rehabilitation centers for men. They just come and then they are dumping, and you have to keep,
giving and giving.
Exactly, and you have to keep taking it in like a sponge. But then I'll have to, it's time that we, highlight these issues. I mean, the signs. Okay. I could be, suffering from a mental dysfunction, emotional, and I would not even know. Okay. So how do I come to that self-realization that, this is happening to me, and what do I do to fix it?
Okay, for example, one of the major causes of this dysfunction also is what I call female hormonal fluctuations. For example, serotonin, one of the neurotransmitters, in women is not produced as much as it's produced in men. Okay. In women, it's not even much sensitized. So what you see is that serotonin is a mood stabilizer. So women are more prone to mood swings. They are more prone to what I call mood swings and depression. In fact, it has been found through research that women are more prone to depression, but they don't get to suicidal ideation as much as men. They don't carry it out because they use religious centers, emotional outlets to get rid of this. So one of the things you see is that you see a lot of chronic mood swings. So men are confused. The woman is laughing at this point. In another moment, she's upset, angry. So these are the kind of things you see. You also see a kind of woman that is so dependent. She can't take decisions on her own. Because she has been raised in an environment that has not only encouraged her self-awareness, her self-confidence. Another thing you also see, you see a lot of highly contentious women. Men are crazy, saying, what's happening? My wife is so contentious. If I say 1, she's saying 10. Because growing up, she has seen a lot of abuse. It has been found that girl children are more domestically and sexually violated more than the boy children. Yes. So that brings a kind of trust issues. If your father, your brother, your uncle violated you sexually while growing up, you are going to have trust issues in relationships. So when your father harassed your mom, beat up your mom several times, you see such things, it's registered. So 2 things happen. Some go to the extreme, they go back into their shells. So they are less expressive. Girl children are not encouraged to be self-expressive. So when they get into marriage, they take it all in. All the good, the bad, and the ugly that the man dumps on them, they keep taking it in. A time comes, and they explode. She explodes. So those are the things you see. Some become very offensive. So submission is not an issue for them because they've come to realize that, look, I'm not going to take the kind of treatment my mother took. So they come prepared in marriage. So the man, even when the man is of good intentions,
they're already defensive.
It is defensive and at the same time offensive. So such a marriage will have a lot of issues if the woman does not come to realize what is going on with her.
Okay, so what I hear here is first you need to self-realize it. And now that you have pointed out some of these things, you watching at home, these are the things that you need to, and then you also need to tell yourself the truth that, okay, well, this is what it is. Now that we have self-realized it, what's next? What do we do to fix it?
Number one, you must see the need to change.
Okay.
You must see the need to change. You can't run away from that reality because the thing you do not see, you will not pursue. Then number two, I call it growth. Another thing, growth. Growth is a function of diet. You are who you are by the things you eat. So you are a spirit, soul, and body. You need to feed well spiritually. You need to feed well emotionally. You need to feed well mentally. What are the kind of books you read? What kind of movies you watch? What are the kind of music you listen to? You need to feed well.
And
diet.
Also the friends that you keep.
And the kind of friend you keep, the association you keep. You can't be better than the quality of the life of the mental quality of the 5 closest people to you and the books you read. The another thing is that some chronic mood fluctuations may probably need a specialist, maybe
because
a doctor.
I mean, like, that's biology. You can't change
biology,
it.
but
I can go into my serotonin home and say, hey, you need to cooperate today.
Because these things also happen because of the things you experience.
Okay.
Now, if you have been traumatized as a child, that things have gone to your subconscious. So it's a give and take thing. The hormone affect you. The things you also experience also affect your hormone also. For example, cortisol is a stress hormone. So when you're under a lot of stress, cortisol is released into your bloodstream. So you may need to see a doctor if you have serious hormonal fluctuations. Another thing I also say, and I will keep saying it, is to go for therapy. You know, so it can help resolve those mental issues. Now, that's what they call mental cognitive distortion, irrational beliefs. Human beings are wired to have the capacity for both rational and irrational thinking. So you need a therapist to help you put things in proper perspective.
All right. I have learned so much from you today because, trust me, I can relate with many of the things that you have said here today.
Thank you so much for
But
having me.
before we go, it is important that we highlight some of these issues. Okay. I know you mentioned them, but I need you to please just reel them out quickly. Okay. And then we wrap this up. Okay, so
causes of this dysfunction, I talked about female hormonal fluctuations, socio-cultural issues, then dysfunctional home setting. Yeah. Then the implications are the fact that confusing mood swings, dependency, leading validation, and affirmation every now and then.
So look out for the signs. If you're watching right now, look out for the signs and then see a therapist. You know, feed your body, soul, and spirit with, a lot of, good things. Yeah. And also read. Google. Google is your friend. Thank you so much, Olaiwola Abiola. It's always a pleasure having you. I know that next week's topic is also going to be mind-blowing. I can't wait. All right. We have to go on a quick break now, people. Conversation continues on social media. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's finally time to get up close and personal in a chat with Mr. Isaac Chris. Now, he's a creative and performance-driven film director whose deep passion for storytelling has earned him an amazing track record of employer satisfaction. Now, he honed his craft with major projects like Sugar, 50, and When Love Happens, many others as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you very
much. Now, I must ask, right, how has it been like being on set all of these amazing movies?
Sincerely,
now, don't tell me it's good.
No.
Okay. All right, continue.
It's really been fun.
Okay.
Sometimes you get to see the people who you actually grew up watching, and having to interact with those people, find out that they're actually human beings. Okay. It's always fun. Sometimes even finding out that they are less than perfect makes you feel, you're probably doing something right.
Okay.
And then usually just not just being around the atmosphere, but seeing something that you've actually thought up in your mind come to life, it's always extremely satisfying. So yes, it's just fun being around the environment, really.
Right. Let's touch on this issue of satisfaction, though. Okay. Because there's an idea you have in your head.
Yes.
And it's probably the most mind-blowing idea ever. Then Nigerian factor enters. And then you get on set and realize, you might not be able to get everything you imagined out there. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's less than ideal. Let's be sincere with ourselves. We all want to dream up the biggest dreams. We want to, who doesn't want a black Superman? Who doesn't want a Nigerian Spider-Man? We have too many rules in Nigeria. We should get someone jumping through. We all dream of those kind of things. But at the end of the day, when you tell a story, even if it's not the exact story you want to tell, there's still a certain level of satisfaction to find people enjoy your story. So it's not just so much about telling the particular story. There's no hard and fast rule to it. There is no one story. There are so many stories, and you always have to tell yourself that maybe that story might be for another time. The stories I could tell 7, 10 years ago, I probably tell a better one today, just because of the kind of things that I'm able to do now and the kind of things that I've experienced and that are available, equipment and all of that. So it will keep evolving. I'm sure in 10 years' time, I probably will be able to shoot a black Superman or something.
Amen to that. Can I be Lois Lane? You know
Sure. So what's it like juggling the whole director role and the producer role? Have you actually ever happened to be both at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
What project?
That was called Silent Scream. It was, as funny as this sounds, it was actually my directorial debut. And I was both producing and directing.
Okay.
A lot of Nigerian directors tend to want to do that because they're trying to save costs. And because they're trying to save costs and they're also the ones that want to direct, they feel that they should do, just kind of put themselves in the middle and do both. My advice is not to do it. I did it once, I don't want to do it again. My advice is not to do it. Like when you're in a creative space, it is extremely important that you immerse yourself in that space. It's different from having the business mindset towards trying to bring something out and make sure everybody, like it's a different idea what you should be doing as a producer and what you should be doing as a director. As a director, you should just be thinking about the art. As a producer, you should be thinking not just about the art, about the money, about the satisfaction, about so many other things. So trying to merge both of them is not smart. People do it. People succeed in it. I would just tell you, I feel like you could give more if you channel all of your energy to one at a time.
Yeah, so speaking of giving more, there are quite a few projects we listed earlier on. And it feels like they're the kind of projects that if you don't give your all, they probably wouldn't have come out on top. But then there are probably some projects that you did give your all, and they didn't really come out so well. You gave loads of money, you probably sold some things to make it happen, but then they didn't come out, they didn't make as much money. Let's put it that way. So how did you feel about those?
Some of them I felt really satisfied about because one of the things for me personally is I never work because of the money. I do not take projects because of the money. I really grew up a filmmaker. When I say I grew up a filmmaker, no, seriously. I grew up a filmmaker in the sense that I lived in my head. So when I decided to make movies, it wasn't about the money. It was just about telling a story. So sometimes when you tell your story, you don't really care about the bottom line. However, when things don't go your way, especially when you've told the right story and you expect to make a certain amount of money, what you do is you use it as a lesson. So that your next movie, you know the kind of things, your little do's, your little don'ts. It's always going to be there. You would never really meet your target. In fact, if you meet your target in filmmaking, then you set a low bar to your, for yourself. So you never really meet your targets.
Okay, so when you said it's not about the money, but it feels like this next one coming out is going to be a money maker. Talking about Bad Boys
and Bridesmaids.
That title alone, Bad Boys and Bridesmaids, it just feels like...
Then, following up. I was like, wow.
A lot of hot ladies in that cast. A lot of very juicy gentlemen as well. So money does feel like the mindset behind a movie like that.
Well, I wouldn't say money was the mindset. It was all about making a very. You don't disclose. Okay, so but it was all about making a really, really beautiful movie. This one wasn't about. It was all about beauty for us. We wanted to make something that Nigerians will actually watch and enjoy, not just in entertainment value, but even when they see it, and then something that genuinely could cut across.
Okay.
We have very few Nigerian movies that could actually hold water outside with our Hollywood contemporaries, because usually Hollywood is standard.
Sure.
So that was our target for this movie. It was all about cutting across and really bringing out beauty, Nigerian beauty, you know, that we as Nigerians, both the males, the females, our locations, that we are genuinely really beautiful, and it is extremely exciting to look at.
Yeah.
So that was what we wanted to do.
I think it's great eye candy, and I think you pulled that off. And I have a feeling the storyline is going to be amazing as well. But something else that's amazing happening around us right now is the cooking, and it's about time for you to taste that food. Please join us in the kitchen. Yes. Surprise, surprise.
I'll join you guys.
Please join us in the kitchen. MM is standing by.
Am I permitted to pull you?
Please. Yeah.
Please take a sit.
Oh, wow.
Please have a seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And welcome to the kitchen. Yes, this is Chef Blossom. And this morning, she is made for you local plantain porridge. Yes. So would like, you know, would like them to take it all in before we allow you to take it all in.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah. So quickly, you want to tell us,
All
okay,
right.
so now, all right.
Yeah, let's do this. So now, this is sweet plantain,
Yes,
right?
so
the right
in there we
one.
have sweet and unripe.
Ripe
So
and
please
unripe.
quickly take a have a taste and let us know
Wow.
what you think.
Definitely looks good.
Honestly,
Yes, it does. We have chicken
actually...
in there, we have fish in there, we have more in there.
Oh, goodness me. I'm hungry already. My stomach is making noises.
Oh, nice.
What do you think?
Just the expression you were hoping for. Do you need some water? Titi, please.
Okay, all right.
I can take this home, right?
Okay.
This is really good.
It's so yours.
right.
Seriously,
Please
it's
enjoy.
really, really good.
Oh, nice.
All right, fantastic.
Thank you. Well done, Blossom. Well done. Well done. And then thanks for being here, Isaac, Chris. It was such
Thank you
a
very
pleasure
much for
having
having
you. Amazing work you're doing out there. Well done. Well
Yeah.
done. All right. And to all our guests for being here today, we appreciate you. We say thank you so much. And of course, we have Winfrey, Diana on the couch.
Definitely. I'm definitely so envious right now, all that food. But then again,
Don't worry.
it was an amazing show today on the Wonder Woman Wednesday.
Yes, don't say it.
Really? You know I'm going to say it.
No,
Winfrey
please
has
don't
to be
say it.
initiated. Who runs the world? Girls! Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. And we have to go right now. Have an amazing, beautiful day. Mwah.
Bye.